The little house on the hill was perfect, or so Sarah thought. It was a beautiful craftsman with a sprawling garden and a view of the lake. She bought it on a whim, escaping a life that had grown too complicated. The only oddity was a single photograph on the mantelpiece in the living room. It was a faded photograph of a young boy, no older than 7, with a solemn expression and a hollow, dark look on his face. He wore an old-fashioned sailor suit and clutched a wooden toy boat. The realtor had called him a harmless quirk of the house. Sarah thought he looked sad, a little lonely. She left the photograph where it was. At first, the strangeness was subtle. She'd find the front door open when she'd sworn she locked it. A single lamp in a living room would be on, casting a dim yellow light on the photograph. She'd get up and turn it off, and when she walked past an hour later, it would be on again. The temperature in the house was erratic. One moment the air would be thick and warm, the next a cold, breathless current would sweep through the room, making the hair on her arms stand up. Then came the sounds. A quiet, rhythmic tapping on the window pane, even when there was no rain. A faint, childish giggle echoing from the hallway at dusk. One night, she was woken up by the sound of something dragging across the floor above her, followed by a loud thump. She crept upstairs, her heart pounding. But the hallway was empty. But outside the boy's room, a tiny, scuffed handprint was visible on the wall, as if a child had been trying to climb it. Sarah's unease grew into a consuming dread. She found a ledger in the attic, an old journal kept by the house's original owner, a woman named Eleanor. The entries chronicled the life of her son, a boy named Thomas who had died of a fever at the age of 8. The last entry was chilling. Thomas is not himself. He laughs, but there is no joy in his laughter. He watches me from the corner of the room. He wants something, but I don't know what it is. But I do know it's not good. The next day, Sarah went to the living room to look at the photograph. The boy's face was no longer just sad. There was a faint smile on his lips, a cruel and knowing curve that hadn't been there before. His dark eyes seemed to follow her every move. She tried to take the picture off the mantle, but her fingers couldn't grip the frame. It was as if it were glued there. That night, a small, cold hand touched her arm as she slept. She woke with a scream, her body slick with sweat. In the dim moonlight, a figure stood at the front of her bed. It was a boy, transparent and shimmering, wearing a sailor suit. He stared at her with those same hollow, dark eyes. A chilling, melodic voice, like a child's song, filled the room. "You left me here. You didn't even try to see me." Sarah scrambled back, pressing herself against the headboard. "I didn't leave you," she stammered. "I don't even know you." The boy raised a skeletal, translucent hand. "You did," he whispered. "Everyone leaves. Everyone forgets. So I made sure they couldn't." He pointed a finger at her. A low, inhuman scream ripped through the air, and the room grew deathly cold. The boy's forearm began to warp and stretch. His smiling face twisted into a silent, gaping maw. A terrible truth dawned on Sarah. He wasn't a boy. He was a mimic, a thing that had worn a child's form to lure people in. It wanted something, just as Eleanor had written. It wanted her. It wanted to consume her life and her memories. to replace her with another empty echo, another face in a photograph. Sarah's last moments were not of terror, but of a cold, final understanding. This wasn't a haunting, it was a slow, deliberate collection. And she was the newest, most vibrant addition to its display. As the morning sun filtered into the house, a new photograph appeared on the mantelpiece, leaning against the one of Thomas. It was of a beautiful young woman, her face a mask of serene emptiness, and in the background, a faint, translucent figure with hollow eyes watched.